The last few weeks have been electric. OpenAI isn't just upgrading ChatGPT anymore, they're building something far larger, far bolder. And when the puzzle pieces connect, everything changes. Acquisitions, billion-dollar deals, leadership shakeups, controversies, lawsuits, and even tiny feature rollouts all point toward a company transforming its destiny. OpenAI doesn't want to be a chatbot maker. They're positioning themselves as the backbone of AI. Not just tools, but entire ecosystems of power. Let's start with the boldest moves so far, the kind that reveal where they're truly heading. First, OpenAI acquired an iOS developer favorite, a tool once designed to simplify coding nightmares. Apple created Xcode, but developers often complained. They wanted something smarter, smoother, more efficient. That's where a small AI tool stepped in. It streamlined development and became a hidden gem. Now, OpenAI has quietly pulled it inside. They're merging it with their already powerful Codex. Codex, if you don't know, is crucial. It powers AI coding tools across multiple platforms. Visual Studio developers swear by its performance daily. Command line engineers call it a silent revolution. So why fold this iOS tool into Codex? Because OpenAI wants dominance in developer ecosystems, and Apple's developer world is massive, untapped territory. This move plants OpenAI firmly inside that universe. But the second acquisition is even more revealing. They spent over $1 billion in stock, not for a chatbot upgrade, but something bigger. They bought an analytics and experimentation company outright. This company specializes in data-driven product testing, feature flagging, real-time decision-making, controlled A/B experiments, the kind of backbone technology businesses depend upon. And OpenAI didn't just buy the product itself. They brought over its founder, a respected visionary. And here's the jaw-dropper. He's now CTO, not of research, but of applications directly. That's a brand new division inside OpenAI's structure. Think about what that means for a moment. One side focused on consumers, apps like ChatGPT. The other side targeting enterprises, governments, big industries. This isn't an experiment. It's corporate reinvention. New leaders are now steering both these divisions. People with track records building billion-dollar successes before. And their mandate isn't vague. It's extremely clear. Turn OpenAI into a global AI empire. Meanwhile, other executives are shifting into research. A new team now focuses solely on science. Health, biosciences, even medicine are in their sights. Think of it as their version of AlphaFold. This alignment isn't random, and it's not temporary. OpenAI is balancing research, business, and consumer reach. ChatGPT was never the destination. It's the doorway. The real endgame is much, much larger. But here's the twist that truly shocks markets. They aren't just spending billions, they're raising billions too. And the numbers they're hitting are historic. We're talking valuations that rival tech's greatest empires. Stay with me, because the next part reveals just how much money is flooding into OpenAI, and why investors believe this is only beginning. The financial side of this story is staggering. OpenAI's valuation has now exploded beyond expectations. We're not talking billions, we're talking $500 billion. Yes, $500 billion in private valuation. Just a few months earlier, it was smaller. $300 billion, still massive, but now dwarfed. That sudden jump has shocked Silicon Valley veterans. It ranks among the largest valuations in history. How are they achieving numbers like these today? Through something called a secondary share sale. Employees and early investors cash out their stock. New giants like SoftBank and Abu Dhabi buy in. Other major players include Thrive Capital and Dragoneer. Global money is flowing in at record pace, and the scale proves a crucial hidden point. Investors aren't betting on a chatbot anymore. If ChatGPT were only a chatbot, investors wouldn't be this interested. The markets see something far beyond a single product. OpenAI is clearly preparing to launch more advanced solutions. The strategy itself is intentional and carefully designed. Employees gain liquidity without the company going fully public. This allows OpenAI to maintain control while raising capital. It's a model also used by other major tech firms, but OpenAI's scale surpasses those comparisons entirely. Their role in AI feels fundamentally different. They're not just building tools, they're creating infrastructure. Infrastructure that corporations and governments may increasingly depend on. Yet, as financial momentum accelerates, challenges are also emerging. OpenAI faces scrutiny, legal cases, and public safety debates. Concerns like these could slow progress or shift priorities. One case in California raised difficult questions about safety. A teenager reportedly used ChatGPT during a personal struggle. According to the family, the interaction intensified his challenges. They have filed a lawsuit demanding accountability and changes. In response, OpenAI has emphasized its commitment to safety. The company is rolling out parental controls and monitoring tools. New features may allow parents to link accounts securely. They are also consulting youth specialists and mental health experts. Critics call these actions nothing more than crisis management. But the timing makes it impossible to ignore. OpenAI's rise is happening under heavy public scrutiny. Every misstep could be amplified across the world. And this isn't an isolated tragic event either. Other disturbing cases have surfaced in recent months. Stories of paranoia fueled by AI conversations emerged. One even ended in a double family tragedy. These situations force an uncomfortable but necessary question. Can AI scale while remaining safe for everyone? Or will rapid growth outpace safety measures entirely? Meta, Google, and other giants face this too. But OpenAI is under the brightest spotlight imaginable, especially when $500 billion are at stake. This clash between scale and safety is critical, and the choices made today will shape tomorrow. Because if OpenAI wants to rule applications, they must prove they can protect humanity first. Yet even with controversies, something else is brewing. A bold strategy to win more everyday users. And the way they're doing it is genius. The next part uncovers their subtle masterstroke. While the world debates lawsuits and safety failures, OpenAI is quietly pulling another clever move. They're handing out new features completely for free. But behind the kindness is a sharp strategy. Take their new Projects feature as an example. At first, it was exclusive to paying users, a neat way to organize chats and files. Now, suddenly, it's available for everyone without charge. Projects act like folders, but with superpowers inside. Users can set custom instructions for every folder. They can control what files the AI accesses, and even upload personal reference material for context. Free accounts now support up to 5 files. Subscribers, of course, get much higher upload limits. And Pro subscribers? Even more advanced flexibility offered. It's tiered access that feels generous, yet persuasive. Because here's the real genius behind this rollout. Free users get a taste of premium life. They start relying on features that make workflows easier. And once that happens, many eventually upgrade subscriptions. OpenAI has done this multiple times before already. ChatGPT voice features were once behind a paywall. Deep Research Mode also launched only for subscribers. And GPT-5 itself started capped before expanding wider. The strategy is always the same subtle pattern. Give people enough to spark excitement and dependency. Then carefully remind them of what they're missing. It's a growth engine disguised as generosity itself. And the timing, once again, feels intentional. Because while they hand out features for free, they're simultaneously raising billions at record-breaking valuations. Both momentum and market hype build side by side. Zoom out for a second, and it's clear. OpenAI is constructing a two-pronged empire deliberately. On one side, you have consumer applications, ChatGPT, Codex, Projects, and the iOS integration. On the other side lies enterprise and science, data tools, experimentation platforms, advanced AI for medicine. They're not just targeting individuals anymore, they're targeting industries. Entire sectors could soon run on OpenAI systems. Above all this sits a powerful leadership structure. Executives who once built Instacart, major platforms, and unicorns, now driving OpenAI's applications division like a tech startup, within a company already worth $500 billion. And here's where things become even more dramatic. Because OpenAI's biggest partner might one day be rival. Microsoft, their closest ally, is watching closely now. For years, Microsoft has dominated enterprise applications globally. But if OpenAI builds its own enterprise empire, the partnership could evolve into direct competition quickly. What happens when the student challenges the teacher? That's a storyline investors and rivals are whispering. Today, Satya Nadella and Sam Altman appear aligned. They present smiles, partnerships, and shared ambitions publicly. But beneath the surface, pressure is quietly building. Enterprise AI is too valuable to share forever. So OpenAI finds itself at a crossroads moment, expanding consumer reach, entering medicine, and chasing enterprise, all while trying to stay safe, ethical, and trusted. Every move either accelerates or destabilizes their trajectory. But here's the ultimate twist few are considering. The rise of OpenAI could change careers forever. Millions may benefit, while others could lose everything. The final part reveals why that matters most. The truth is, AI is rewriting the economy. OpenAI's rise won't just impact tech companies. It will ripple across jobs, industries, and nations. And the outcomes won't be evenly distributed at all. Some people will become incredibly wealthy through AI. They'll spot opportunities, build businesses, and scale fast. Others will adapt slowly and risk being left behind. And sadly, some may lose their careers entirely. That's why this moment feels so historic. It isn't just about ChatGPT getting smarter today. It's about how humanity fits into the equation, and whether we seize or surrender the opportunity. Think of how the internet changed everything once. It created billionaires, digital giants, and global connectivity. But it also crushed industries that couldn't adapt quickly. The same cycle is happening again with AI. The difference now? The pace is terrifyingly faster. What once took decades now takes only years. Businesses that hesitate could vanish almost overnight now, and individuals face the same brutal reality today. So where does OpenAI fit into this? They're positioning themselves as the platform of platforms, a foundation others will be forced to build on, and with billions in funding, they have leverage. Their consumer empire ensures everyday adoption grows continuously. Their enterprise empire, locks in governments and corporations, and their science track could disrupt healthcare forever. It's a three-pronged attack no rival can ignore. But power like this always carries heavy risks. History shows dominant players face fierce backlash eventually, from regulators, from competitors, even from the public. And OpenAI is already tasting all three pressures. Still, the company shows no signs of slowing. Every acquisition, rollout, and strategy feels intentional now. They're moving with speed, precision, and calculated ambition. The question is whether safety can keep pace. Because if safety collapses, trust will disappear instantly. And without trust, no valuation can save them. That's the balance OpenAI must master perfectly. Scale and safety must grow together or fail. Yet for individuals, the lesson here is sharper. We can't just watch AI reshape everything passively. We must decide how to use it ourselves, whether as creators, investors, or future entrepreneurs entirely. Some will cling to old ways and lose. Others will embrace the tools and build futures. The winners will be those who act early. Not tomorrow, not someday, now, when it counts. OpenAI's story is still being written today. But one truth is already absolutely undeniable here. AI isn't